the needle is attached to the syringe, so there's no using any kind of fill needle with insulin. This is a little different than the scoop, so this has like a little platform on the bottom, and the reason for that is, I call it little feet. It's because the syringe stands up like this, the cap. So with insulin, the main thing to know is when you draw up regular and NPH, too, yeah, you have to draw the regular into your syringe first, and then you draw the NPH. Because if you were inadvertently to get a small amount of regular in your NPH, that is not such a big deal. This is intermediate acting, this is rapid acting. You don't want to contaminate, you don't want to drop the NPH first and get NPH on the tip of your needle and then put that in the regular, because regular insulin we can give intravenously, and it's the only one that you can give intravenously. You don't want to contaminate this with anything. So that's why there's such a particular order with drawing up regular and NPH. And if you just remember RN, regular goes in your syringe first, NPH goes in second. If you're going to do the whole injecting air thing,
No, let's not even get it.
no.
That's too confusing.
But I think that was the question on one of those freaking
Injecting
practice.
air?
Yeah, where like how do you, so if you're gonna do so let me just show you. So you would inject air to minimize the number of times you are gonna puncture a rubber stopper. You would inject air in the NPH equal to the amount of NPH you're drawing up, and then air into the regular equal to the amount of regular that you're drawing up, and then leave the needle in there, draw up the regular, draw up the NPH. So if I had to give 20 units total, like 10 of NPH and 10 of regular, you would put 10 of air in the NPH without touching the NPH. Don't let the needle touch the solution. And then 10 of air in the regular. And then just draw up the regular now. So the regular goes in your syringe first. So it's 10 units of regular. And insulin is one of those medications that has to be checked by a second RN, because it's the biggest medication, insulin. So that's my regular. And now this is the tricky thing, really. And like we said, even if you didn't do the air, you're not going to hurt the patient. The tricky thing is drawing up the second med. And this is true anytime you mix 2 meds in one syringe. You can't overdraw this, right? Because then I can't squirt it back into the vial, or I can't waste it, because I now mix 2 meds in one syringe. I don't really know what I'm wasting. So this is the tricky part. You have to be so precise. So I said 10 of each, so it's going to be a total of 20 units. All I can say is pull this back slowly. I would go really super slow till I got to the 20, and then that's it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I can't pull past the 20 because I can't push it back in there, because now I'll have regular in my NPH. It's like peanut butter in your chocolate. And then the other thing is you have to be so careful with air bubbles, because I can't like flick out the air bubble and then push it back. So you just have to be really precise when you're drawing up any 2 medications. You have to be very careful with the second one that you're not overdrawing.
So we don't test you in skills testing?
We don't.
Mixing?
And then I would just, this is a sub-Q, so.
But on an
Watch.
exam, you would just have to know regular insulin is drawn up before NPH.
Can you see
so
the
that
little
don't
cap?
Contaminate it.
Don't do that. Don't put it. It snaps in. You can't really scoop it.
So when in doubt, could you just draw them into separate syringes if you didn't feel confident?
Well, then you have to give the patient 2 shots.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. We're trying to prevent the patient from getting 2 shots. I will say, the only insulin you can, these are the only 2 you can mix together, regular and NPH. And we just don't give NPH that much anymore, because there are better alternatives. There are alternatives to NPH that are better. There's also pre-mixed, like, you're probably never gonna see this, like, there's something called like 70-30, so it's a mix of NPH and regular already in the vial, so then you don't have to do any mixing. Honestly, like, we give a lot of Lispro. So Lispro is, you're gonna learn this more. It's fast acting, and we use it to cover like meals, like after meals. Lispro, so if you had to give NPH and Lispro, you do have to give 2 shots, because you can't mix Lispro with anything. So you would have to give 2 shots. We also give what, Lantus glarginine, is it Glar? I can't remember the generic. Lantus is really popular, long acting. You cannot mix anything with Lantus. So if I had to give regular and Lantus, I'd have to do separate syringes. So then the patient does have to get 2 shots.
Really, the main thing to remember about insulin
Just-
is in units, you
Yep.
have to use an insulin syringe. And if you had to mix RN, you do the R
And then-
first.
So it's a regular sub-Q, and then this one, I don't think I showed, this is another safety device. So once I give it, you just push up this white clip, and that activates the safety. Or you'll see a lot of nurses do it against like the bedside table. One thing is, if you have a clip like this, the nice thing about this clip is it moves. So you can, if it's in the way of your numbers, you can move it out of the way. But again, you give the injection,
The same as a sub-Q.
pinch, go straight in, give your injection, remove, one-handed safety, just like that.